Okay,
Okay,
continue.
okay. Do you want me to like syllogize it for you? Is that what
I
you
don't
want?
care. I don't care. I want you to give the argument towards pro-life being true.
Yeah. So I just think that the fetus has a future like ours. And depriving them of it is wrong. And then when I just do cost benefit
What
analysis,
determines them
just
having a
wait.
future
Why are
like
you
ours?
interrupting me
It was
while
not your turn to talk.
Because I think it's a good time to
little
clarify
boy?
what
Look.
makes
Anyways, just calm
have
down there.
a
Okay. So when I
dispositional.
okay, just stop. Just you're trying a
You're
little
right,
too
my
hard
bad.
there.
You're right,
But
my
look,
bad.
the point is just this. So when I analyze and the like classical paradigm abortion cases,
By the
I
way,
just
are you fine with Lucario judging?
Yeah,
yeah,
I can judge.
yeah, you're gonna lose either way, but it doesn't matter. So I just look at the fetus and I
Wait,
notice
can I
that,
tag every? Wait, let me tag people.
bro, there's no bro, there's no.
Dude.
Okay.
All right, it's fine.
I need activity.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I just
Let me lock it
analyze
though.
classical paradigm abortion cases, and I realized that there's something that's true of the fetus almost all of the time, and that thing is just their sort of future. And I think that when the mother sort of deprives them of it in virtue of abortion, of having an abortion, they're doing something wrong. And the obligation that I want to establish is just with respect to the classical causal obligation that's given in the literature. Now, if you want me to expand on that, I can, but we can
So
just
are
skip
you just
over that.
saying that what's it called? Are you just saying that there's some sort of inductive case that we have towards a fetus having a flow? Oh, wait, I might have not asked that question immediately.
What's the inductive
Yeah,
case?
yeah. To ask the question, because I think now that I think back on it, I think I asked this during your argument, but to ask the
Holy
question,
tracking error.
anyways, how do we definitively know if a fetus has a flow or not? Like, what determines them
I'm
having a
not
flow?
saying they defend it. No, I'm not saying they definitively do.
Yeah. So, what determines a fetus having a flow? Because I
Yeah,
mean, if you're not,
so
wait.
the inductive case is just that typically fetuses go on to be sentient and fulfill dreams and desires.
Go on to be sentient in
And it
what
just
time does it
I'm
start?
giving you the inductive
No,
case.
no. I know the inductive case. You're just gonna say typically the
Okay, so
whatever
why
the
did you ask for it, moron?
I just need. Okay, well,
To be fair, you did ask for it. Come on.
I asked for the argument.
You
Didn't
asked for
ask
the
for the.
inductive case, moron.
No, I said, are you going to be using
No,
inductive case? But I don't know why we're like. Okay.
why are you?
I'm just gonna ask this.
Just
Like,
take deep breaths. You're
yeah,
like
I
going.
don't know why you're
You're
like
going at
trying
like
to.
Okay,
30
guys,
miles an hour.
I know
keep it
maybe I
linear. Keep it
interrupted you,
linear.
but you can
Look,
continue the argument. I'm just asking, like, when you give, because I know that you're saying, okay, well, typically this and this, and when does this start typically for the fetus? Like, when do we start saying,
I
well,
don't really
typically
have some sort of exhaustive explanation of what time it happens. All I'm aware of is just that it happens from conception to like maybe 3 to 5 weeks into after conception.
Okay,
I don't really have like an exact placement. I'm just aware
it's
that
not.
just stop, just stop. I'm just aware that
No, okay,
I just
go on,
stop. Why are you interrupting me? So
go on. I'm telling you to go on.
yeah, I didn't need you to tell me to go on, but um, irrespective of that, I just think that I know that the majority of cases within the U.S. at the very least are immoral. Given that they happen between the 6 to 12 week mark, right? And that's before the sort of estimate I have about when flow starts and when depriving it of a flow is wrong.
So, from conception to 5 weeks, we'll say.
Yeah, it's like the ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like that's a fun. That's
And
a
if
fine
this is
number.
an inductive case, I'm assuming you're using
Yeah,
probability.
the poor.
Statistically, this is wrong. I can send the study, but no, embryos don't, or any fetus, I guess we can call it, from that range typically doesn't actually make it to live. I sent you the link. It's from Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Be charitable. Be charitable.
I don't know what was wrong with my pronunciation.
Pronunciation. Oh my god.
Bro, it won't load. Fuck.
I mean,
Okay,
you
wait.
don't really need to click on it. I guess it kind of
I
says,
do
but
because you
I
might
mean,
just be
okay,
like
okay.
pulling this out
What
of
I'm
your ass.
right, well, obviously that's possible. I'm just saying, if you don't believe that, it just says what I'm trying to prove in the link or the URL.
Well, you sent the source, so I might as well just go ahead and skim through it.
Okay. And I think I had some other sources. Let me check.
Wait, Hajun, kick him while he's down. Like while he's reading, throw some rhetoric.
No,
Be like, I have a stutter when I read.
no.
Well, we got Virtuous King in here, Hajun. I like it. I respect it.
Copy link because I don't feel like downloading my image again. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's more links and proof or whatever. Did I go? Here we go.
Do you know when they say first cell division? At what point in time this is?
Said what?
That's right after conception. No, I'm just
Ask again.
Oh no,
first
this
cell
is
division.
Cell division is within 24 to 48 hours after conception.
I mean, that
Okay,
still
so
works.
it's
Never
saying that they're
mind.
predestined to either survive or die. Or predestined.
Okay.
Okay, well this is all like silly because like let's say I granted you that this is true, which I don't think that that's what this study is saying. They're saying
I mean,
something a
that's
little
clearly
different. They're
what
saying
it is.
something a little different, but it's fine. Let's assume that less than half of the embryos don't even go to survive. The point being is that I want to take a precautionary sort of view, right? So even if it's the case that less than half of these embryos don't go on to live or whatever the case may be, I want to take a precautionary period, just given that if they were to, and if it does turn out that they will survive, depriving them is just much worse than, sort of taking this precautionary actions, right? So the argument still follows.
I think that's just actually changing your position because initially your argument for why we can determine if something is going to have a flow or
I
not was
did
some
no.
sort of
That's not the method. Okay, that's not the methodology for knowledge about. Okay, you're like making a bunch of jumps in logic that like just aren't true, right? The methodology that I'm using is not with respect to knowledge about a certain embryo and their future. It's just about sort of estimating the majority of embryos and whether or not they are likely to go on and survive and have a future. But the point being is that let's say if I were to formalize it into a premise and that premise is false, and I can just do this move where again, okay, I'm changing my position. And just saying that, I'm just taking this sort of precautionary view, where I think that, even if it's the case that the majority of embryos do not go on to survive, the counterfactual in which they do and we deprive them of that feature is just much worse. So just take that in, Hodgin, and then come up with a response like 2 or 3 days later. Because I know Hajun was like thinking about this. He was like preparing this like whole like source thing for like days to catch someone with it. But like,
All right, I'm back. Can you repeat what you said?
okay, was your mom talking to you?
No. I mean, not that you're trying to get like rhetorical jazz, but I don't think anyone finds you appealing.
You know that?
So,
Great.
do you
But like
want
the point is just this, right? I think that whether or not more than or less
to
than
go
half of the
on?
embryos want to survive, is kind of irrelevant. Just given that even if they don't,
Lots of
um,
there, like filler
sorry,
words. Yeah,
even
better be. Go on.
even if they don't, I still believe that we should take a precautionary period. And given that the counterfactual in which they do want to survive and you deprive them of their future is just far worse.
Okay, so yes or no, are you just gonna drop that initial position? Because I'm not sure. Because earlier I heard you say that even if you do drop
Yeah,
it.
sure, Hodgkin, yeah.
Yeah. So I already won 1 point. That's fine. I
One
mean,
point. What the-
counterfactually, that's what a point is. But yeah, counterfactually, if it's the case that it's bad to abort them, or if they continue living, yeah, why do we value flow in the first place, or the future like ours? to a significant, I guess, extent to where they're going to be above the mother's choice of abortion.
Well, it might just reduce down to something I just believe to be normatively irreducible. But if I want to give
Mhm.
like some sort of exhaustive explanation, I'll just turn to the sort of values that I have about my future and how I think those things are valuable, and the sort of account that is classically given with regards to explaining why death is harmful. And again, that just turns to our future and the sort of experiences that we have. But I don't really have like a better explanation farther than that. If you're looking for one, I just think that
Yeah,
again, it might just be primitive and normatively
and
irreducible.
I'm a,
Like it's like asking somebody, why do you think sentience is valuable? You can kind of give examples about experiences or whatever and dreams and values and all these other things, but
I'm
I don't really
assuming
have a further
you.
exhaustive explanation.
I'm assuming when you said why death is harmful, you just be giving an account for why we might, or I guess the word for it is what's the I don't even know the word for it. Oh yeah, process of elimination where we show certain moral frameworks for why death might be value, and then we compare those to the I guess proposition at hand. In
Well, that's not an issue for my view, given that I don't think that
no, I'm
um
not saying it's
the
an
account
issue.
that
I'm just saying, is that like kind of what you're kind of hinting at if you were to give that I guess account for why death is harm or harmful?
okay, yeah, I'm giving an account of why death is harmful.
Okay,
Sure.
okay, okay. So I mean, if you're just gonna give a scenario where, okay, well, we shouldn't kill someone, or we are not to kill someone or put someone through death because they have the potential to have the said, I guess, this what's the word for it? I guess deploy the said happy experiences or personal experiences. I mean, I think typically when people run those cases, it's in reference to people that have past experience. So I feel like at least relative to a fetus, I guess before I might take a pro sentient view, I think relative to a fetus, I don't see why that actually holds up because the
That's not
scenario
that
you're
that just doesn't
giving kind
follow.
of
Wait, that just doesn't follow. What?
I mean, maybe you're giving a different argument. That's fine if you want to
Wait,
give
wait,
that different
wait.
argument.
No, you just gave like a counter. Okay, so you said that because people typically, when they refer to their future values or whatever, they're referring to subjects that have past values. Then you're making a jump to where you think that the fetus can no longer be subject to this,
I mean,
sort
I
of
can
calculation that we're
clarify. I
just wait,
think
this calculation that we're doing about their future and the deprivation of that future, right? But you're making like a jump there, and it just doesn't follow, right? Even if it's the case that typically
I
people don't
mean,
refer to
why would
subjects
you
that
don't?
don't have past values or past experiences, sorry, that doesn't mean that's true in all cases.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is when people give those scenarios, they only refer to subjects of beings having past
They only
experiences. So I
do,
guess my question,
even if that's true,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
can
still
I finish?
that's still not
So we're
that's still
not playing an
compatible with
interrupting
me
game.
referring to
No,
a subject
if we're
without
not playing an
past, right?
interrupting game, you shouldn't be interrupting me. So you can wait your turn. Okay. All right. So, anyways, I mean, obviously, I can just ask you to give a scenario where someone doesn't have a past experience, but they're going to be valued relative to someone who has past experience or the capabilities of giving consent or using if this said fetus lives or dies or et cetera, et cetera. And I can just ask you, basically, just give an example of that happening and why it would be the case that they're as valuable as this person with past experience. Because I mean,
I'm
I
not
don't think
saying that's
you're.
wait the
Oh,
wait
you're not
the
saying that. Okay.
I'm not saying wait, just to be very clear, I'm not saying. Okay, so there's this account that I sort of have, and I can kind of didn't want to have to give this long-winded explanation, but I take a sort of pluralist view about harm, and I think that the sort of views about psychological connectedness um, erase the harm of death, and I just kind of do this calculation about the cost-benefit analysis of the fetus and the mother, and I realized that even if it's the case that the mother is much more harm is happening to the mother if she were to die. There's still like significant harm that's happening to the fetus. And I actually talked
Such as?
about this with Mindy and a few other people. But this kind of harm seems to grant that the fetus is actually going through some significant amount of harm, while still explaining our intuitions
Such?
about why why adults still experience far more harm when they die. When we compare, fetuses.
So, could you repeat that last point?
Yeah. The sort of the kind of harm that I'm giving seems to
What happened
encapsulate
to
as
it?
to why the
Wait,
fetus
wait, wait, wait,
still.
wait. Pause there. Give me a second.
Oh,
What?
she's gonna go consult with.
My
Never mind.
bad. My screen was glitched. Go back to what you're doing.
Yeah. So the sort of a kind of harm that I'm giving, sort of explains the intuitions that we have about adults and why when they die, they're harmed significantly, but it still grants the view that the fetus is still being harmed significantly
Wait,
as well when they
so
die.
how? What is being significantly? Because I
At
don't
least with
see,
respect to, at least when I compare
or
it to the
actually,
sort of harm. Wait, at least when I
uh,
compare it to the harm
thought
that's
you were
occurring to
finished.
the mother through pregnancy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I mean, I don't see what is significantly harmed for a fetus in
That's
reference to a.
granted, like that's
Can I
compatible with
finish?
my view.
I thought we're not interrupting people. Like, what happened? Are you just going to be a hypocrite
I
and
interrupt people when they make stupid
unfaithfully debate?
points.
Well, I haven't even
Oh, come
finished my
on,
point.
Gabe.
So
That's not
obviously, if you
fair.
want
That's
to
not fair.
assume my
Come
point,
on.
it's going to be stupid, right? So you can wait your turn and follow your own rules. Okay.
You can wait
All
your
right, that's
turn.
fine. As I was saying, obviously I don't see anything that is significantly harmed within fetus. So I'm just going to ask what is significantly harmed, and it seems to be the case that this actually goes on to the point of us giving a utility calculus. Because I mean, we're both saying, well, they're significantly harmed, but I think for your position to be true, I think the fetus is going to have some sort of utility, I guess,
Well,
dispose
okay, so you just didn't
when
track
it's
because you're
harmed.
asking me what's being significantly harmed.
I'm not done.
I already
I'm
gave an
done. I'm
explanation.
not done. I am not done. Okay? So wait your turn. It's not hard. I can do that for you too. But as I was saying, I mean, my utility calculus might just be that, I guess, from the state of affairs that we value, such as psychology and, I guess, having the capacity in such sense where they're capable to make their own decisions. They're generally going to be more valued than someone who can't. And I think someone who is going through harm, while having this case relative to someone who doesn't even have past experience, let alone a possible future or a definitive future experiences, I would just say, well, this person that already has these actualized state of affairs that we morally value because I guess anthropomorphic reasons is going to be more valuable, or we would prefer to put it in less harm than the said, I guess, unvalued object or not relevantly valued object. So also, you tried interrupting saying you gave certain qualities. Obviously, I'd hear it if I'm asking you to give qualities. So can you repeat those qualities?
You asked what's being harmed. I said that it's
Mhm.
being harmed in virtue of the deprivation that's happening, and the sort of intuitions that you have about
Deprivation?
just wait. The sort of
No, I'm
intuitions that you
asking a
have.
question for what you said. I think this is a
Okay, the
reasonable
sort of
interruption.
Yeah,
intuitions that
okay,
you have
dude.
about
You're interrupting, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I
the
know I'm
sort of
interrupting, but again,
the
I think
sort of
it's reasonable. I
intuitions that
don't
you
know what
have
you
about
said.
adults and the harm that
Are you?
Oh,
Did you
okay.
say
If you
deprivation?
didn't hear what he said, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, what did you say? Deprivation?
Yeah, there's deprivation that's happening with regards to the fetus, but
That's circular, by
um,
the way, but okay.
so the intuitions that you have about adults is completely explained by my view, right? And you can still say something
Yeah.
like adults. You can still say people like me and you, are harmed far more by death than a fetus, and
Yep.
still say that just wait, and still say that the fetus is being harmed
Mm-hmm.
more than the mother
Mm-hmm.
during pregnancy. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that's granted by my view.
Okay. So I'm assuming when you say deprivation, there's a reference to flow? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. That's circular because I mean, this whole point is on whether flow is valuable or not. So, like, I mean, if you're gonna
Wait, you
refer
asked me
back
that, and I
to,
explained. Wait, no. You asked
no,
me why
because
flow is
That's
valuable.
no.
an interruption. To be fair, you were interrupted.
Yep. I mean, it's the whole point of, I guess, this line of reasoning, or I guess this subpoint is based off of the point of why flow is valuable. Because I mean, this dialogue tree does derive from why flow is valuable. Because I mean, I'm currently addressing why flow isn't relevantly valuable. I think that's kind of proof that it's going to be the case that this is derivative from the point of whether flow is valuable. So you using it as some sort of argument towards why there's going to be harmful deprivation is just circular. Like that's just blatant begging the question. I know that we can't give valid arguments, but I guess I'll let you respond because that's really all I have to say. I think you're
Okay,
being circular.
so early in the conversation, if you like put your tracking boots on,
Wow,
you would have
rhetorical.
realized. Just stop. You would have realized that earlier in the conversation, I give an account of why flow is valuable, and I explained that I don't really have an exhaustive explanation as to why. That I just kind of turn to case examples and the sort of intuitions that I have about these case examples and my own values, because the way that I talk about morality in general is with respect to my own psychology, right?
And you came up with that you gave the death example. And then we
No,
went
no,
on to
I
the
just
point of,
no, I didn't. No,
I was
when
trying
I
to
was
clarify, like, if
explaining,
you want to say
when
no
I was
after, you can do that.
explaining the flow and why I think that it's valuable, I was just giving
I know you said
examples of
which I disagree with.
experiences. I was giving examples of experience, right, and an account of um harm with regards to death, right?
I mean, yeah, that's literally what I was saying, and I don't know why you denied that. But I mean, experiences and why harm is death. I mean, I already addressed that point, and then we kind of moved on to your, I guess, pluralistic account of harm for why harm is death, or death is harmful. And then, I mean, this just still circles back. So obviously, you can give said reason, and if we continue off of that dialogue of reason, it's still like inherently circular. I don't think you know what
Wait,
circular means. Just because
did you hear what I said
are we just
when you asked
interrupting
me the
now?
question of
Like
did you
very
wait
meta.
just really quick. Just really quick.
Okay,
Did you
so if
hear what
we're
I
just
said?
gonna
Did
interrupt,
you hear what
no,
I
I heard
said
what you
when I
said. Yeah, I heard what you said. Since we're gonna interrupt, sure, I'll interrupt you every point. But as I was saying, obviously you don't know what like circularity means. You can give reason for a proposition and then go down a dialogue tree on that proposition and then go back to using that proposition as some sort of justifier, and that still be circular. Circularity is just the act of using a said I guess primitively is just the act of using a proposition to justify itself or to justify dialogue traits already put into question in reference to that proposition. So you can now continue on point, but since we're interrupting, if I feel the need to interrupt you, I'll do so.
Okay, so um
Go
I
on.
just want to ask when you asked me
Of
why
course you
I
want to
think
ask.
flow is valuable, did you hear what I said?
I mean, you gave two examples, or I guess two responses. You said, I mean, I don't think flow is. I think flow is a irreducible concept or something like that, and kind of gave an
So
example
you
of
didn't
how.
hear.
Thank you. Can I finish? And you kind of said basically how sentience is also kind of like that, where sentience is not really, I guess, is primitive. Basically, is what you said. I mean, you can say I didn't hear, but that's legit what you said. You said it's primitive, right?
I didn't say that flow as a concept is irreducible. Flow is just, those future experiences. Um and the reason why the deprivation of it is just the account of harm that I'm giving. But with respect to flow in of itself, explaining as to why flow is valuable is just difficult, given that I think it's normatively irreducible. Besides just giving case examples of experiences that you have in your daily life, like eating and just like your average experiences. Besides that,
My bad. Can you repeat that? I was just pointing out the fact that you did say it's irreducible. We can see it in Lucario
yeah,
the Goat notes. I mean, let's read out what he said real quick. Let's just talk about why death is harmful. That other, I'm not going to say that because it's a swear and swear is a sin. That
Yo,
other
are you
stuff is
copying off
just
my? No, no, no.
irreducible.
You don't get to cheat off my notes. No, 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 no.
That's not cheating.
No,
You're the one
that
who
is
put.
cheating. That is cheating. That's cheating. That's
Oh,
cheating.
no, you put them in there. They were
That was
public
not for
stuff.
you.
They were public stuff. But anyways, repeat what you said.
yeah. All I said was that okay. So this is how the dialogue tree is going. So I give an account of harm, and then you asked me to explain why um flow in of itself is valuable, which I already explained is a little difficult given that I think it's normatively irreducible. So sure, it is circular, if that's what you mean by circular. Which
Okay,
I
why
don't
is
know why you're laughing. I
permanently
mean,
irreducible? I find it embarrassing. Like
most
I
views
came in
about
here after
most
the
views about
debate.
justification allow for circularity. Just calm down, there, right?
What?
Especially when it comes to just stop. What? Yeah, what? Just calm down.
I mean, yeah,
I think
they
that flow.
allow for a certain
I think
wait.
that flow is just
No,
you
because we're
reduce
interrupting.
just
What happened
okay. So I
before, so
think
I'm
that
going to interrupt you. Obviously, there's certain views that allow for circularity, but number one, I think that those views are kind of flawed. I don't even see justification for that. Like, I
what?
can give a view stating that grape is okay. Does that make it okay? Like, what? Um,
No,
but
wait.
anyway,
So wait,
no,
are you an
even
infinite?
if,
Do you think that? Wait. Are
can
you
I
an
finish? Nope,
infinitist?
nope, nope. We're not interrupting. We gotta
No,
like
you
be
can't.
hip.
No, you can't
Not
finish.
no hut. Okay. I wasn't asking for permission, so I'm going to continue.
You did
But
ask me though.
anyway, no, I didn't.
What?
But as I was saying, and even if that's the case that they
You
allow
did.
for circularity, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. You can never prove that. But either way, those views and I guess the way they posit circularity, I'm pretty sure I forgot the name of one, but I know the way they posit circularity is if it's the case that it's not viciously circular, then it is justified. But I mean, I think the thing was viciously circular. You literally used the point in question to prove the point in question. So like what? um, and I don't know why Malachi hopped up. Like I'm not the rhetorical goat.
Damn,
Like,
Malachi, he's gonna get you.
but
Yeah, you
anyway,
should probably stay in your lane, youngin.
I don't drive.
Ooh.
If you want to say
Like,
that,
what
what
the
I'm
fuck?
saying is, if you want to say that what I'm saying is viciously circular.
Yeah, it is.
There, Parfit Spudo actually gives a perfect case of it. If you want to replace,
LGBT.
if you want to
Ooh.
substitute the sort of reasons that I give
Wait,
with
are
those,
you
and
cheating off of Parfit's poodle now?
yeah, um, he gives a perfect example of vicious
I mean,
circularity. That's
yeah,
not what
I
I said.
think your
Okay, this
example
guy's just
was
lost.
vicious
Yeah, so just
circular. I'm just
substitute. No,
lost.
no, just I want you to just stop. I want you to do this thing where you substitute the reasons that I'm giving into the viciously circular one, and prove that it's viciously circular.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what do you take viciously circular to be? I think like, definitionally, or I guess, how do we describe it? Hello, Stunlock. Okay, I'll describe it for you. I think viciously circular is the act of being circular.
That
In the
wasn't what I
sense that,
asked you to do, which is why
I
Yo,
mean,
that
that's
was
fine.
tough
That's not
though.
what you asked me to
that was
do.
you just pivoted
I'm
from
not.
that. You just pivoted from what I
Obviously,
told
I'm
you to
going to
do.
answer. That's fine. I can answer after, but I guess I'll describe what I think the terms mean. I think viciously circular just refers to circularity where a point isn't actually justified because it's using that said point in question or the proposition at hand to justify that said proposition. I think you did that because I think what you gave was um I asked you about I guess why flow is valuable relevantly. You said XXY, we got into this dialogue tree, and then your justification for I forgot specifically what it was, but your justification for a specific thing that's still on the dialogue tree, kind of derivative from why flow is justified, is oh well because what's it called? Because this fetus is being deprived of something valuable, which is flow. I mean, if what I'm still initially asking and what's still in question is flow, I mean then using flow as some sort of example or assuming that it's um being deprived of something relevantly valued, that being flow, while that's in question, it's just circular. I'd even argue it's begging the question, which yes can be distinct. Um, so if it was to be
You'd
virtuously,
argue it's begging the question.
yeah, the reason I would say that because I usually just do begging the question
Okay. We
to
can go down that
apologize
road
for
if you
things.
want, and you can, and you can derive um, the fallacy. But look, irrespective of that, that's not even what I told you to do. What I
Okay,
told you to do was go into what Parfit Spoodle example was of
you
vicious
think like
circularity,
carpet
and then
poodle?
replace the variables with the reasons or the normative reasons that I gave in order to prove that I'm viciously circular.
Why do we need to appeal to strictly
See,
perfect
you just
poodle?
deflected. What?
That doesn't answer my question. Like, obviously, if you give a
Yeah,
reason for
I'm not
why
going
we
to
have to
answer the
defend.
question of somebody that's
Oh, okay.
deflecting
And
away
I don't
from
see
mine.
why I should actually respond to what Perfect Poodle said and explain the variables equating to the arguments or I guess dialogue tree, right? I don't see why he's the only like this only strict thing we can refer to
He just
where
happened.
we
He just
determine
happened to give a
and
good
it's not to
example
me.
of it. What It was
I mean, he
nothing
can
about
give
him
a good
personally.
example, right? I can give a good example for why Lucario's a GOAT, right? Like, he beat Apollo, he beat Kojo, he beat Divinity, he beat
Okay,
That's
Jubilee.
right. That's
stand up,
right.
Exactly.
stand up,
Good
low, bro.
example. Does that mean we
Stand
should
up.
only appeal to me? I mean, obviously, I'd say so because I'm the GOAT, but I think we should appeal to people like
That's
Single
such a
Phoenix
troll.
or
What the
Yuki
fuck?
or Violin or even Moxie. Moxie's pretty goated too. I think we should appeal to them too. I don't think we should just strictly appeal to me because I gave a good example of something. So, I mean, I don't know why you're saying bullying time when you have lost on like 3 points. Like,
Bullying
what?
time? That's definitely what I said. What
That's legit what you said in chat.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 chances. Okay, this is chance
Okay,
number
I read
one.
that wrong. I read that
Replace
wrong.
the variables with the reasons.
I mean, if we're just gonna go back to this point, I think we can just conclude. I already asked
Oh,
the question relevant to this.
this is okay. This is attempt number 2 of Hajun not
Okay, so I
deflecting.
just think we can just conclude because you seem to not be able to answer why we should strictly appeal Moxie.
What the fuck? Okay,
I don't know
that's
what he's
fine. I mean,
laughing at. Like, you
okay, so
laughing with
I'll start
yourself?
with my closing
Who is in
statements,
your
given
room?
that I was just not provided a sufficient answer to the question.
Only the person
So,
that loses in the
Hajun
debate
seems
gave
to
first
just
conclusions.
stop.
Ooh,
Just
that
stop.
was Nora. Yo, I think I might be infinity. Oh, I'm about to start packing.
Yeah, this guy's a troll, bro. What
Bro, okay.
the?
So Hajun deflected a question that he obviously couldn't answer
That was
in order to
rhetorical.
okay, stop. In order to,
I'll go on mute.
sort of substantiate his views about vicious circularity and why that's true for my view. I think I answered everything pretty well. I was kind of trolling at the beginning, so that was pretty bad. But this was a great conversation. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, I mean, I'm chill with you too, just to clarify. All of our rhetorical jabs at each other, like our high tier rhetorical jabs, were obviously jokes, but um, what's it called? To start my conclusion, because obviously I won the debate so great, so I obviously had to give my conclusion. Okay, I'm trying, but so I came in here depressed and stuff, looking for a debate. Should I move on to my conclusion with Cardio, or should I continue giving the backstory?
Give the backstory, man. We're not gonna
All
skip the
right,
cutscene.
Data Bayo. Anyways, I came here looking for a
He said
debate.
Data Bio.
Like
No
the
way.
final boss of debating calm. And I came in here pretty rhetorical, but I low-key felt bad, so I had to tune it down after asking Dragon to debate me. So he started being rhetorical first. Obviously, I don't understand why. Obviously, I cut down on the rhetoric and I started being a good faith, but he was rhetorical. It kind of made me sad. But to get to conclusions, what happened was he argued a standard notion of flow or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, I just asked why. I asked him for the period of when we determine if flow exists, and he just said, "Well, it's between conception and 5 weeks." I showed him that, or I asked him for the argument how we determine it. He gave some sort of inductive case. Obviously, inductions requires probability. I think it's kind of like common sense for inductions. Neither. I don't know what a Frank is either. But anyways, I just showed him that actually probabilistically or statistically or metaphorically or rhetorically, um, between this time, fetuses actually don't generally make it to live, so we can't derive I guess our induction from that because it'd be invalid statistically. And he kind of just admitted to dropping that point. You can show Lucario's notes. I did not cheat off of, by the way. Um, so obviously I had to use that as a rhetorical advantage by saying that he dropped that point because I'm rhetorical. Um, but anyways, as I was saying, so I just asked him why flow is going to be relevantly valued because I forgot what he said, and I know that it went into that because, and he said, okay, well, number one is normatively irreducible, which obviously I don't agree with, but number two, it's because I guess he was going to give an example for why death is harmful and going to use that, I guess, relative to why harming the fetus or flow would be harmful. He forgot what I said, yeah, because that was like 1% of the debate, and that was like 20 minutes ago. And I'm cold. But
What the fuck
anyway,
are you cool?
I'm outside. But as I was saying, I forgot. What was I saying again? Oh yeah. So I just said, well, that example that people generally give where they show, well, why death is harmful by some sort of process of elimination and showing, well, because death harms people because of future values. I said, well, all these examples that I've seen is giving examples of people with past experiences, and we kind of just went on some irrelevant point, but it just ended up to me saying, okay, can you give an analogy for where, or why, what was it going to say, or why uh, death is harmful towards persons or people without past experiences. He kind of gave some sort of example, I guess, response by saying he had sort of like plural, I guess, view on what's it called, counts of harms, and he said, well, because the fetus is being deprived of something valuable, henceforth, or relevantly valuable, I'd say, henceforth, we should not take that said thing away from it, or a boat. And I just said, okay, well, what is that valuable thing? Or would you be saying that valuable thing is flow? He said yes. I said, well, yeah, this was pretty circular. I pointed out it was circular because the initial dialogue tree was derivative from the question of why flow is valuable, right? So he never fully justified flow. I'm not actually, you know what? I'm not going to get into that because I think that adding stuff in from that didn't, to my knowledge, happen in the debate. But anyway, he just, I just pointed out, well, the initial dialogue tree was derivative from whether flow was, relevantly valued or not. So referring back to whether it was, or it being valuable would just inherently be circular.
Bro, speed it up. Speed it up.
I'm cold right now. Okay.
I'm
Don't rush
falling
me.
asleep, bro.
Okay. Anyways, so as I was saying, because it's going to be the okay, I'm joking. But shoot, you guys interrupted and I forgot what I was saying. Wow.
Just
As I was
give your
saying,
last sentence. Last sentence,
yeah, as I
dude.
was
Come
saying,
on.
he responded by saying, okay, well, a bunch of theories allow for circularity, and then that it wasn't viciously circular or whatever, or asked me to show some sort of argumentation relative to what Perfect Poodle said and why it aligned with it being viciously circular with what Perfect Poodle said. I just asked him why Perfect Poodle is going
It's
to
a
be a definitive
closing
thing.
statement, not a play-by-play, dude. Come on, bro.
It's a closing statement, so I just think
Bro,
I
you could have
won.
just been like,
But
fuck
he
you,
never
Gabe, and
answered
you're
that
done.
question.
Yeah.
No, because that's
Anyways.
bad and that would be a sin, and I don't dislike Gabe.
Bro, you could have just said,
Yeah.
fuck you, Gabe, and like ended it there.
That's a
Yeah.
sin. What do you not understand?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That debate was atrocious.
Hey, don't speak ill of my master.
What?
It was atrocious, mostly for Gabe. I